What's going on, everybody? How's it going? Crypto Rick, and I am excited. I've been talking a little bit about Evrynet. You're going to hear me talk a lot more about Evrynet, including in this video. I get a chance to sit down with one of the core team members over at Evrynet. Super, super exciting, amazing stuff these guys are doing. So, with that being said, everybody sit back, relax, and enjoy. All right, everybody. Well, I want to thank you for watching. This is the Crypto Rick channel. And as always, we're bringing you some amazing opportunities, right? We would love to hunt crypto opportunities. And I pride myself on being early. I hope that you guys are as excited as I am about this one. I brought you just a sneak peek about a week and a half ago or so on Evrynet. And now I am joined with Pat from Evrynet. So, Pat, how you doing today, buddy?
Good, good. Glad to be here and to share about Evrynet.
Awesome. So what is your title? What exactly is your role at Evrynet?
Yep. So basically, I'm project lead in charge of a variety of things. So in terms of product development and also to get the word out on our project and get the awareness up.
Nice. Sounds like you're the guy, right? You're pretty much running a lot of stuff, product lead and getting the word out. That's pretty much what it takes right now in this crypto market, right? So that's awesome. I'm looking forward to talking about the details of the project, and I'm going to be covering this, multiple times, like I said in my last video. So what I want to hear from you in your own words, what is Evrynet really all about? What got you guys into this?
Yeah, so maybe just to a little bit of the background of where it came from. So we actually have two co-founders. So one is Chachawan Jeravanon, the other one is Tripri Arunanonchai. So both of them sort of came from a huge financial services background. At the time, a few years ago, they were looking into developing a layer 2 remittance. But while developing that, they realized that there's a huge opportunity and a huge gap in terms of having an open source platform to build other financial services and products on top. So that's sort of like the idea of where Evrynet came from and where we want to go in the future. So just to lead in, right? So what we're trying to build here is a CDFI financial platform that would allow other financial services and products to be built upon. And the name actually comes from the word everyone, right? Because we want to be the platform for everyone to use, basically.
That's cool, right? And when I was browsing through the website, I saw that term, right? CDFI. That's not a term I've seen out there, maybe ever, right? So can you touch on that just a little bit? What exactly makes a CDFI application? What is that?
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of people are asked a lot on that question because people are used to DeFi, obviously in this world, but people also, talk about CeFi or traditional financial services. And what it means is we're sort of in the middle. We want to bridge a lot of what CeFi world into DeFi. At the same time, while DeFi is great and everything, but for a lot of participants, we still need some sort of a regulatory framework to work under. Especially when we want to deal with institutional investors coming into DeFi. These are things like providing compliance, doing some sort of KYC, KYT process that would ensure all participants, that there are no scam projects or scam products on our network.
Nice. Yeah, that's huge, right? I mean, just the ability to kind of limit some of the scams, right? I love all the decentralized stuff, but with full decentralization comes a ton of risk, right? I think we all can attribute to that just a little bit. So in your own words, right, what is the vision of Evrynet? What exactly are you guys going out there looking to take charge and do right out of the gate here?
Yeah, so the longer term vision for us is to build, like I said, a CDFI platform. We want to create different templates, different products, different tools for other projects, for developers to be able to come and then use these tools to build other financial product services. We want to target the Southeast Asian region. That's where we come from. But beyond that, since we're here, we also see a large opportunity in terms of unbanked, what we call unbanked or underbanked population. If you look in terms of statistics, there's over 400 million population that the traditional C5 financial services have not met the needs of, and these are in a variety of different ways, in terms of access to credit, insurance, or other financial products, right? So we want to use our platform to be able to create new applications, new services that address this issue. Beyond that, right? I think since we're here, Southeast Asia is a very exciting region. I think there's a large potential here. We have very many exciting and fast-growing crypto community in Thailand, in Vietnam, in Indonesia, for example.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at my channel analytics, I'm always surprised at how much of my viewership comes from that region of the world. So I can understand that it's more of a necessity in some parts of the world than it is for me here in the U.S. Right? Crypto's more of a luxury for me, but it's a necessity for those underbanked and non-banked individuals. Right? I think that's huge. One thing that stands out, that's not a small feat you're trying to accomplish, right? That you got some hefty goals, and I'm assuming you guys have a heck of a team around you to back that up. So if you wouldn't mind, would you give us a little bit of background on the team, some of the core members, and what makes you guys able to go out there and do this?
Yeah, definitely. So obviously we have kind of a large vision, kind of large goal that we want to fill. So there's a need for a very dedicated team. We have quite a large team here based in Thailand, but also a new recruited technical team based in America. So me, myself, I came from a venture capital background, but alongside me, we have a strong team of, I'm not going to really touch on the names, so I think you can check our website, but basically we come from a variety of different backgrounds of investment, in terms of operation, in terms of investment banking, in strategy, and all of us have experience in working for large institutions, large financial services sector. So we come from a background where we understand the C5 market, and we want to bring some of those expertise and knowledge and experience and apply it to a DeFi product, basically. Just want to touch on the tech team in America. We work closely with our partners, which kind of leads into the next question that you might ask, like who are our partners or advisors? So we have a very strong group of both traditional institutions and in crypto worlds. So from a traditional point of view, if you're familiar in Asia, you might have heard of these names. If you're not, I'll just walk through some of them. So for example, we have CP Group, which is one of the largest conglomerate here in Thailand. But we also have partners in Korea, in Hanwha Investment, in Japan, Seven Banks, in Hong Kong, Hashkey, in Taiwan, Uni-President. And beyond just a traditional background, right, we also have a very, very strong partner with Stellar and Kyber Network. Both of them have very strong partners and helped us in terms of technology development as well. And sort of this ties into the technology development. So for Stellar, we're working closely with David Masuris, one of the co-founders of Stellar. We're implementing one of the very high-speed technology for our chain and for our products, and hopefully that would really increase our transaction per second.
Yeah, that's some important stuff right there, right? Because I was actually going to get to that, because having a great team is one thing, but man, I've seen so many great teams not have the relationships, the partnerships, and the support from these key individuals, right? I think that shows me that you guys really have planned this out, and you've done a lot of legwork. I mean, before you're even out there on the market, you have some of the craziest partners that I've seen in a long time. So hats off to you guys. It looks like you're doing it the right way, not rushing the product, and making sure that when you guys get out there and list and launch, that you're ready for it, right? So that's awesome to see. One thing we haven't touched on yet, though, is when I was digging around, I saw in the white paper you guys are talking about Evrynet Finance. So we touched on a lot of things, but we haven't touched on that yet. What exactly is Evrynet Finance, and how's that going to work?
Yeah, so one of the sort of a first product, the app that we're launching is what you see there is Evrynet Finance. It's It's our first app that we're going to launch. It's a DEX, but so in the short term, once we launch, we'll have all the usual features that you see in a DEX, right? So you can exchange, you can participate in liquidity pools, you can do yield farming. But in terms of towards the end of this year, we'll launch some of the features that will target more of institutional investors, so allowing them to come into DeFi, but at the same time also connecting some CeFi assets. So what we're looking to do here is, understanding, because if you look in terms of our partners, right, we have a lot of institutions, so we kind of understand what the barriers are for them to join into DeFi. Obviously a lot of institutions you see, they want to join, but there's some certain aspects that are holding them back. And these range really from very simple things like managing the wallets, right? So having some sort of institutional wallet, multi-sig, that allows them to control, be a custodian of their tokens, having a ability for them to convert fiat into stablecoin, having a compliance section, right? So if you think about working in a company, you always have to have some sort of reporting structure for people in management to understand like what's happening with their assets. One of the other things we're trying to build here is also interoperability. So having our product work multi-chain. In the beginning, where we're looking to make that available for ERC20, BP20, and Stellar native chains. But longer term, we're also looking to add more chains for interoperability. Popular chains like Solana or Polkadot, we're always looking for opportunities for that to work with. And the last piece that we're trying to do, like I mentioned, is the CeFi assets. So what we see is, we want to be able to provide a different type of yield product that has a more fixed yield and a longer term maturity. So in this piece, right, if you look in terms of the market, there's a large part where the yields just fluctuate, and it's more short term. And even for those yield products, there's a limited amount sometimes that are available for people to participate. So once we bring in the liquidity, obviously there's got to be a yield product that helps absorb those liquidity. So we think, by bringing in CeFi assets, synthetic assets, or local funding or whatnot, we can provide a 10 to 15% yield that has a maturity of 1 to 3 years, for example, and that can help a lot in terms of institutional investors managing their portfolio, but also for regular investors, right, who wants to diversify instead of putting your money, your savings into a bank, traditional bank, where you earn a very low percentage, or going for a higher risk cryptocurrency yield products that potentially could have losses. You can have some sort of in the middle kind of a variety of different yield product with different risks and profile and return profile.
Nice. Yeah, obviously that's a lot, right? And I think it's important to understand, like, a lot of those things are going to help the institutional investors, right? Because those roadblocks of traditional DeFi are big when you start talking about people that have to report on their money and report on their earnings.
Yeah.
It's not very easy to do today. Are there any other things that stand out when you're looking at Evryfinance as competitive advantages over all the other? Because there is a lot, right? There's Celsius, there's other DeFi stuff out there. So what do you got? What do you got that really is going to be the differentiator from you guys?
Yeah, so right when we launched, one of the different things that we're trying to do here, because of our partnership with Stellar, is that we're going to have an XLM paired liquidity pools. We've also, through our partnership with Kyber Networks, implementing their DMM technology to our some of the pools will be DMM. So for those of you who might not know what DMM is DMM is another, I guess, alternative to AMM pools. In research, they're for stablecoin pairing would be up to 100x more capital efficient. So those are something that we're implementing. In the medium term, I guess towards the end of the year, what you'll see is a hybrid. So we're having hybrid AMM DMM pool with off-chain order book. This would also sort of facilitate the institutional investors because this auto routing feature would help reduce the slippage as well. In the longer term, what we're trying to build here, as I mentioned earlier, is a high-speed technology. So in theory, we could go up to 100,000 transactions per second. Once we're able to achieve that for our DEX for Evrynet Finance, we're looking, could be sort of a multi-chain inter-exchange. Since there's a lot of DeFi out there, we could possibly do something like a cross-chain arbitrage. There were a lot of people to do that just because of the speed of our DEX. So that's quite exciting, and we're looking to implement that for our DEX sometime next year.
Nice. The cross-chain arbitrage, you caught my attention there. I'm one of the few out there that still hunt and find consistent arbitrage opportunities. So having the ability to do that cross-chain, I think, is a potential game changer. So that's some cool stuff right there. As far as the roadmap, right? I know you're in charge of the product. You're the product guy. So what's coming up in Evrynet's product roadmap that you want to talk about? What that you are super excited about?
Yeah, so obviously I think I've mentioned a few of those, but just to lay it out. So so far we've created, we finished our testnet for Evrynet, but we're looking to launch mainnet sometime next year, mid next year. That would implement the high-speed technology. For Evrynet Finance, we're looking to launch around next month, and then add more features to support institutional investors towards the end of the year. Early next year, we'll see more of the CeFi assets coming into Evrynet Finance, and then sort of mid to late next year would also see implementation of the high-speed technology. So those itself, I've only put a few words to it, but there's a lot involved. There's a lot of different features, there's a lot of different products. Another highlighted product is what we call EveryHub, which is the interoperability product that I mentioned. So those also will be launched next month as well, but also looking to add more, as I mentioned, other chains to our interoperability.
Nice. I mean, you guys are working on a lot of stuff, right? I mean, that's awesome. So I mean, I'm sure people are out there listening right now, like I am, and are starting to get a little excited. We see so many projects launch and that are trading and all these things that have nothing yet. They have absolutely nothing. They probably don't even have a plan, right? They put together a landing page and they copied somebody's roadmap, and they're trading for multi-billions of dollars in market cap. It's wild, right? So I'm in, right? So I need to know one thing. What details can you share with me right now about listing of Evry?
So very good timing that we'd like would like to say that we're looking at listing at 2 exchange on the 20th. That will be MEXC Global and Gate.
Oh, nice.
I won't share in terms of details. So one would be a listing, and the other one will be a listing plus an airdrop campaign. And obviously, I'll share. You can find more information in terms of how to participate in these campaigns through our Twitter, Evrynet. And yeah.
Awesome. That's some exciting stuff. I mean, so the 20th of October, we got some time here. So everybody watching this video, you have your time to come over to the website, do your research, do your due diligence, follow the Twitter, get all the details that you need to get so you are ready to go on the 20th when this thing is listed. I mean, I see a tremendous upside here personally. This is something that I'm going to go personally in on, and I think that you guys out there should definitely do your research. So Pat, I want to thank you for your time. This has been an absolutely amazing time for me. This is one of the more exciting projects that I've seen in a while because you have so much happening, and you're not even listed yet. So you're definitely doing it in the right order here, which is very few and far between in the crypto space. So I again want to thank you for coming on the channel, and thanks for your time, and wish you guys nothing but the best of luck.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Always appreciate having the opportunity to share about our project to a wider audience.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.